I was watching TVs on the. I was at the store when I was buying this, and I went. I love to watch TVs. Actually, my TV, I bought it 8 years ago. I bought two big 65 of two 65-inch TVs, and they've been working since I moved here. So I bought them 8 years ago. I bought them in 2012. So that's wow, yeah, 9 years ago, and so I'm waiting for one of them to stop working, so I can. Where's my? What's wrong with this camera? Yeah. Hello. Yeah. So, but it's okay. I have all my time, right? And I've been watching all the time, TVs, and those TVs, they work well. They're huge, 65-inch, and at that time, 65-inch was super expensive. So and I bought them at I had a great deal. I think I took both of them for 3,000 or something like that. But nowadays, TVs, flat screen are super flat and super thin, and they actually also are cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So soon as the living room TV dies or stop working, I get an 85-inch. And I remember when the first time I saw a 70-inch or 75-inch, it cost like 70,000 euros. And today I saw a 85-inch for 1,000 or something, and the 75-inch now are at 800. But why I'm talking about this is not because I want to talk about TVs. Is because TVs became so much of commodities that actually you don't really need to buy TVs every year. Once you buy your TV, it works for so long that they try to sell you new TVs with gimmicks like more contrast, OLED, super OLED, 4K, 6K, 8K, size of the screen, etc. But listen, once you buy a TV, unless it goes broke, if you have a TV like the ones I have in the house, I bought two of them. I have 165 in the living room, 165 in my bedroom, 155 in the kids' room, and probably a 42 in the kitchen. And listen, they're huge already. So that's why when I'm gonna upgrade, it's gonna be an 85. But I don't have a reason to upgrade as long as they work. And that's why they say, this one is thin, this one has this, OLED, 4K, blah, 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 blah. This one has a smart TV, they have internet, this one cooks for you, etc. Why? Because TVs are, just like this. And I remember when the first iPhone came to the market. When the first iPhone came to the market in 2007, this was a real revolution. And it was not available outside of the US in the beginning. In France, we had to wait until probably 2008, or I don't remember, but we had to wait to have the iPhone because the 2G was not even available. I think I'm not sure, but I think back in the days, you had people. My first iPhone. Well, I had my first iPhone probably 6 months before it arrives in France, and I met that girl, and she was going back and forth to the US, so she would buy like 10 iPhones. and she would bring them to Paris. And so I don't remember how much was an iPhone at that time. Maybe it was 600, and she would sell them at 700. And so that's how I got my first iPhone. And then every update of the iPhone was a revolution. Like the new camera, the 3G, the this, the that. Every time there was something new, it was a revolution for everybody. And very interestingly, Apple just announced the brand new iPhone 13. And it's great. You know, nothing to say. Beautiful cameras, blah, 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 blah. So that's the Pro. You know. And I remember how, you know, whenever there was a new iPhone coming out, I would tell my wife, or even before I met her, when there was a new iPhone, I didn't want nobody to talk to me and to come and disturb my peace while there was the keynote, because I really wanted to know, like, oh my God, there's going to be the new system, etc., etc. And it's not that this changed. It's just that, in my opinion, even if every phone is better, every phone makes better photos, have bigger memories, longer batteries, and whatever they add, and look, the photos are beautiful. Like, but I believe that we arrive to the same thing for phones that TVs. I really believe that that's where we are now. So it's amazing, for example, to have a selfie camera that has the same quality as this one. Because me, I bought a terabyte in a phone. Yo, listen. And to me, we arrived to this point in terms of telephones where every company, it's not just Apple, it's Samsung is the same thing, Google, Sony, all these companies, they arrived to this point where phones have such a great quality that even if you buy a phone for $100 or $200, you're gonna have a level where you can work on them. You have a big screen, you can use your Instagram, take photos, etc. And I believe that it's not that innovation is over in phones, but I really believe that the phones have reached this level where, just like the TVs, if your phone works, you don't really need to take the next one unless you have so much money that you don't care and you just buy new phones every year. And listen, I used to buy a new phone every year, and now I'm still on the XS, and I will go from the XS, the 10s to the new one, the 13, after 3 years, I guess. 3 years with the same phone. And listen, I was fine. I mean, it still works. I work on it. I do a lot of things with it. I don't need to change. But yeah, just gonna get the new one because it makes sense now to upgrade after 3-4 years. And I think Apple knows it. This is why they make phones that you can actually use for years now. Whereas back in the days, like after a year, you're like, oh, I have to get the new one. And nowadays, when you have a new phone, you don't need to get caught up in the hype. You can just get one and use it. If you have the latest one, you can use it for 3-4 years. And it even makes sense now, for example, to buy an iPhone 11 or a 12. Costs you less money, and you have you have everything you need. You really get the latest one if you really need it. Look, I'm using an iPad Pro that I bought in New York. I bought it in Miami. I think I bought it in 2018. I don't think I'm gonna change iPads before, I don't know. Maybe in 2 or 3 years I give it to my son and I get a new one. But it's not something that I really need to do. And technology has arrived to a point where it is so up there in terms of all the features that the phones and the cameras have, that when I was watching the keynote, I was saying to myself, oh nice, like I enjoy watching it. I enjoy watching the show, but I was not excited like I was excited back in the days. And it's normal because it's been so many phones. I think there was iPhone 2G. This is one of my first iPhones. This is the 3G. Look the difference. Yo, you see the difference? Yo, they changed so much. This is the 4. This was a revolution back in the days, but look, I could not use a phone that small now. This is look, I have phones that I don't even use. Like this, I don't even know what model is this. This is probably a 7, and this one I don't even know. But those ones were the one that we gave. Like this is my wife gave this one to her little sister, but then when my wife got the 12, she gave the 11 to her sister. So this one now is just staying here. This one was probably mine that we gave to her sister before we gave her that one, and now we now have too many phones. So it's very interesting now how we are arriving to this moment where the features are interesting, but they are now revolutionary. And it's normal because every low hanging fruit has been, it's been done. So listen, cinematic mode is actually a great reason for me, who's into photography and video and vlogging, to try to use my phone as a vlog camera. For example, when I'm somewhere, sometimes I don't want to take my camera when I go in a party or when I go to the restaurant. But if I have a phone that can do the same image quality, that might be great for even for somebody who's the cinematic feature. I have to test it, of course, but that might be amazing for a live stream, for example. If you can get an image of maybe not that quality, but something like that, those are nice features. The 120 hertz, I don't care. I have this on the iPad. I don't see the difference, and I don't care for real about the difference. But this, you see, the same as TV. When people tell me, this TV has 4K, I don't care. I don't see the difference. Old eyes, it doesn't really change something for me. I know the difference between 4K and but listen, even on YouTube, when there's a video that is in 4K, my internet speed is great, but usually I'm gonna watch in 180p because I don't need all these extra sharpness. It doesn't do nothing for me. It's me. It's my own personal thing. And what I want from a phone usually is battery life. If I can have a phone that I can use like crazy and it stays on for the whole day, like let's say from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. Let's say I can just stay with that phone and have a charge, and like when I arrive home I still have like 40% of charge. That to me is amazing, and most phones have that now. Uh, if I have a good internet connection, so yeah, 5G, I guess maybe in a year or two is going to be useful. For now, you don't have it everywhere, so for now, it's great to have it, but you don't really need. I mean, there's no use case now. Um, what else? Screen, the size of the screen. I think 6 inch is great. Uh, and yeah, the speed of the, when you use the system, you need it to be snappy. You can see the difference. Like my daughter's iPad was broken, so I had to fix the screen. And while it was broken, we had to use the old iPad that we live in the bathroom just to listen to podcasts. Listen, that iPad is 10 years old and it's slow. And yeah, that's where you see the difference. But listen, from an iPhone 11 to an iPhone 13, I don't really think you really see the difference. I don't believe that you see the difference in speed and in the things like, and it's normal. And I think Apple, they know it. That's why they make phones that you can use for 4, 5, 6 years, and they understand that the way to make the money now is to have you sign up to iCloud and to Apple TV and to Apple One. And if the 1 billion iPhone owners spend like $20 every month, that's unlimited revenue. So that's beautiful. To me, I mean, but it's interesting how I used to buy a phone every year, one iPhone every year, and married, like that was 2 every year sometimes, or maybe one for you, then one for me. And it's very interesting to arrive to this point where it's like TVs now. Listen, you can buy a Oppo, you can buy a Samsung, you can buy an Apple, an iPhone, you can buy a Xiaomi, you can buy like Google, like all of them now. If you look at them just like this, they all look the same. Maybe in the back you can see something different, but they all look the same. And then it's the operating system, but they all, like, some used to have features that the other didn't have, but because they all copy each other, we arrived to this point where they're all more or less the same thing. So if I have an advice for you when you buy your next TV, like when I bought this TV, I bought the latest model, and I bought 2, and they work. It's been 8 years, and I think phones are going there. Soon you will buy your phones, and you will have, as long as you don't break the screen or you don't need to repair or you lose it, you might be able to keep your phone for 6-7 years, and those companies will make money from your subscriptions or what you buy in the stores, in the ecosystem, more than what you get from. Because if I go to, let me go. If I go to I don't even know how much it is, by the way. Let me see. Reserve. Okay, me, I want a Pro Max. There's no way I'm talking. I mean, well, the Pro is big too, but now I want the big one. So Pro Max, this one, 128, no, 256. That's enough for me. Because I use iCloud, so every time I take photos and videos, they upload to my iCloud where I have a terabyte. So I don't keep stuff in the phone anymore. And whenever I want to watch something, it just downloads. So let me see. I think let me see what model I have. Because This one I have, it's not full at all. I have the, let me see. I didn't listen. I have 2 terabytes of iCloud. I only use 400 gigabytes, and this is my backup, my wife's backup, my daughter backup, and yeah, even on the let me see what is the memory on this one. About I have 250 gigabytes, and I only use 60 gigabytes. I use 200 gigabytes, so I still have 60 gigs, and I don't know if I need a 500. And no, listen, I'm not gonna pay 1,006 for 500 gigs. I'm just gonna take this one probably, or maybe that one. Yeah, 1,003. Listen, if you think about it, if I keep this for 3 years, that's gonna be 1,399 divided by. So 3 years. That's 12 and 12, 24 and 12, 36. So that's 36 month. It's like 40 per month. I think it's a good investment. But you take the last one, cost you that amount, and then you're good for 3-4 years. And that's phones today. Because if you take, for example, let me go to Samsung. Samsung Galaxy, I guess. What is the last one? Is 21? Oh, you got the fold and all that. Why is he taking me to the, let me see, mobile? S21 Ultra. What's the difference between S21 and S21 plus? Okay, 5G. Okay, let's take these ones. I mean, it's just cosmetic now. They all have 3 cameras and etc. Okay, this one doesn't have a notch. It has this. I don't care. I buy Samsungs for my son, so. You see, all the websites look the same. So 6.7, okay. Colors are nice. They look good. I like the Samsungs and stuff, but they all have like great cameras and okay, look, videos 8K. I don't care. Filming, etc. Oh, that's nice. iPhone has also the nice the stabilization. My cousin has a phone. What was the brand? It was not Oppo. It's not Huawei. It's another brand. Oh, wait. Is it Huawei? Huawei P. I think it's this. The P50. Is it that? Laptops? No, it's not. Where are the phones? Smartphone. I think this is Pro. Hey, what happened? I think this is the one. Ooh, the camera is nice. But you see what I mean? Now it's more like, okay, how they look in the back, and do you like Android or do you like the Apple ecosystem? How many cameras this thing have? Okay, huh? And all those websites, they're more or less the same stuff. They all take amazing photos, and then it's a question of what do you prefer. Wow, that zoom is crazy. But depending on what is your use for a phone, I think we arrived to this point where phones are like TVs. That's what I mean in what I wanted to talk about today. And I've been on it for too long. But yeah, I believe phones now, they're just like TVs.